Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's gaming rundown for Tuesday, May 26, 2020, the number one show unofficially sponsored by Mountain Dew. It is 90 degrees today, and I'm not feeling it, so let's get into the news. I'm going to start off with some housekeeping. Yesterday, I referred to the show as today's gaming roundup instead of today's gaming rundown. So for the first show, I'd say we were off to a pretty great start. Well, without further ado, got 4 stories for you today, so let's get into the news. Our first story, coming from IGN's Matt Kim, BlizzCon 2020 officially canceled. An excerpt from the article reads, Blizzard has officially announced that there will be no BlizzCon this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. BlizzCon is the company's annual live fan event where Blizzard typically holds its biggest announcements and esports tournaments. In the new blog post, Blizzard officially announced that it's come to the very difficult decision to not have BlizzCon this year. However, the company says that it wants to channel the BlizzCon spirit and connect with fans online. Because of the logistics and different factors involved, any BlizzCon online alternative would most likely be sometime early next year in 2021. We all saw this coming. It's no surprise, very few conferences and conventions have yet to be canceled. It is unfortunate to see, but given the way that this year's been going, it is what it is at this point. We can't expect them to do anything differently. And after that, BlizzCon last year didn't go so smoothly either. So maybe it's good they take a year off and get their bearings straight before they continue. All right, story number 2, coming from IGN as well. Matt Purslow, The Last of Us 2 blocked in the Middle East. Article reads, upcoming PS4 exclusive The Last of Us Part 2 has seemingly been banned in some Middle Eastern countries. Users on Reddit have reported that the game is currently unavailable to pre-order in the United Arab Emirates or Saudi Arabia PS Store pages. He goes on to add, The Last of Us Part 2 has already been rated by the ESRB, with the advisory rating warning of nudity and sexual content. However, considering Cyberpunk 2077 is still available to pre-order in both Saudi Arabia and the UAE, the suggestion is that those specific elements, which are definitely in Cyberpunk 2077, are not the issue. Again, not too much to be surprised about here. Censorship is still rampant all across the Middle East, especially when it comes to entertainment, gaming, and films. So it'll be interesting to follow this story and see if that persists or if they are available eventually to buy the game. Can't think of too many instances off the top of my head where games have censored themselves to get released in the area. Movies will sometimes, but I'm not sure. Part of this article said that Pixar's Onward wasn't released in these areas earlier this year, and it had one line referring to a gay relationship, and Ellie in The Last of Us is gay, so that very well may have something to do with it. But we'll just have to keep an eye on that and see what happens. Our third story today covers the PS5 Storage. Screen Rant's Hayes Madsen writes, the PS5 will launch with a custom 825 gigabyte SSD. This is a sizable upgrade over what the PS4 comes with. The big change, of course, comes with the upgrade to SSD from HDD. SSDs, or solid state drives, are much faster at reading data than HDDs, which could result in shorter load times and better overall performance. While 825 gigabytes isn't a ton, it is an improvement over the 500 gigabyte that the base PS4 comes with. This is interesting, so some more PS5 information slowly being shared with us. I'm excited for storage. Storage is one of, in my opinion, the biggest leaps we're making going into this new generation of consoles, especially to solid state drives. I think we're going to see huge differences in load times and hopefully render renderability, and tons of other things on the back end that you might not be able to physically see, but it's happening. 825 gigabytes is 175 gigs less than the 1 terabyte hard drive that the Xbox Series X is set to launch with. We can assume probably that later on in the console life cycle, different models will come out with expanded storage. The Xbox has proprietary first-party Xbox cards that will be available to purchase to expand your storage for the Series X. It'd be interesting to see if Sony does the same thing, goes the same route, where third parties are no longer able to be purchased. I mean, given the change in the storage, it wouldn't be surprising. So we'll just have to see. All right, and our final story today, Jak and Daxter Remake incoming for PS5 launch? Question mark. This is from Game Rant's Dalton Cooper. Blueprint Games has established itself as one of the top studios in the industry when it comes to remastering and remaking older games for modern platforms. Its work on the Shadow of the Colossus remake was praised in particular, and fans are excited to see what's next from the studio. Nothing official has been announced, but new rumors making the rounds suggest that it could be working on a remake or remaster of the PS2 era Jak and Daxter games. This rumor should be taken with a huge grain of salt, as it's coming from relatively unreliable sources. I'll link the article below if you want to read more about it. This would supposedly be revealed as part of Sony's PS5 games announcements at some point this summer. Blueprint has also been rumored to be developing a remake of Demon's Souls for the PS5 as well, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see which, if any, of this is true. I'd love to see this personally. I think that era of games, particularly platformers like Jak and Daxter, are incredible and something that we don't see anymore, but still incredibly fun to play. So I've loved the Crash Insane Trilogy and Spyro I haven't gotten to play as much of, but also something I'm very interested in. So this would be welcome to me anyway. It would definitely be something that I would be interested in playing. So we're just going to have to see if or when it's announced. Or if not, if maybe someday in the future we will see that. Another old Naughty Dog franchise like Crash. So maybe there's hope. That's it for the news today, I guess. So I'm going to leave you with the game of the day. So today's game of the day is Saints Row the Third Remastered. I've been playing it over the weekend. I'm enjoying it very much. Hopefully going to have a review for it before too long. I love the first game, and I think this is a worthy retelling of the story. So I definitely recommend you picking that up. Other than that, I think that's all for today. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe and leave a comment. Anything you'd like. Feel free to comment your suggestion for Game of the Day, and I'd love to shout it out. So other than that, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you tomorrow.